Why do we get cancer? What causes cancer? And what foods we need to avoid to prevent cancer? All of these questions will be answered in details in today's video, so keep watching. Cancer is the second leading cause of death worldwide. People get cancer from exposure to environmental hazards like pesticides, fertilizers, pollution, and radiation. Some have family history, inheritance, and genetics that may play an important role in some childhood cancers. Lifestyle factors like smoking, drinking, and eating ultra-processed foods. Cancer is a metabolic disease. It is caused by damage to the mitochondria, which impairs cellular respiration, turning a normal cell into cancer. Primarily, a carcinogen will enter the mitochondria, leading to the formation of reactive oxygen species, or ROS, which causes the mutation of the nucleus of the cell, making it grow uncontrollably and metastasize. Carcinogens are everywhere, especially in our foods. So here are the top 10 foods you need to avoid to prevent cancer. 10. GMO. These are commonly used in crops like corn, soybean, wheat, potato, canola, and sugar beet. These crops have their DNA artificially altered to increase their resistance to herbicides, such as glyphosate, and keep them protected from weeds and insects. This helps crops to survive the harmful effects of herbicides sprayed on them, which shows a compelling link between glyphosate-based herbicides and increased risk of cancer. 9. Farmed fish. Not all fish are good for you. Farm-bred fish like salmon and tilapia have been found to have high concentrations of antibiotics and pesticides to withstand crowded and filthy conditions, aside from being fed with animal feces. In addition, high levels of dioxin, a very toxic chemical that can contribute to cancer, are found in farmed salmon. 8. Grilled meat. Grilling meat under a fire can create carcinogenic compounds called heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. According to studies done on mice, these mutagenic compounds can cause damage to DNA that may increase the risk of cancer. 7. Commercial dairy. If you think milk is nutritious and essential for healthy bones, think again. Milk and other dairy products most have casein, a protein found in mammalian milk. It was found that high doses of casein could turn on cancer genes. In a recent study published by University of Oxford, people who consumed dairy products regularly had significantly greater risks of developing liver and breast cancer. 6. Alcohol. There's a strong scientific consensus that drinking alcohol regularly over time can cause several types of cancer, including esophageal, breast, liver, and colorectal cancer. So drinking alcohol is really not a good idea to have fun for a short time, but pay a very high price in the end. 5. Processed meat. This includes deli meats, lunch meats, and smoked meats. They all contain harmful carcinogens called nitrates and nitrites as preservatives, but when the meat is cooked, those nitrates and nitrites turn into N-nitroso compounds, nitrosamines, and nitrosamides that can increase your risk of developing cancer. So imagine what will happen if you grill your hot dogs. You double your risk of getting cancer. 4. Refined flour. Made from modern wheat that are treated with glyphosate and pesticides. Then they store them in bins coated with insecticides. To make the flour white, they bleached it with chlorine gas. These chemicals increase the load of toxins in your liver and your kidneys. They also stripped off the bran and the germ, leaving just the endosperm that has the starch and gluten, leading to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, leaky gut, and celiac disease. When left untreated, can lead to small bowel adenocarcinoma. Now you know what's in your bread. Don't make it your staple food if you still want to live a healthy life. 3. Vegetable oils. Vegetables don't make oil. They need to call it vegetable oil just to make it sound healthy. Oils made from canola, corn, soybean, cottonseed, sunflower, safflower, rapeseed, grapeseed, peanut, and rice bran. All of them are inflammatory oils high in omega-6 fatty acids. These types of oils are unstable and oxidize easily. When heated, it creates a chemical compound called advanced lipid oxidation end products that have negative effects on your heart and can even increase your risk of getting cancer. If you are using any of these oils, better to throw them away and substitute them with extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, grass-fed butter, ghee, lard, or tallow. 2. Artificial sweeteners. We as humans have sweet tooth, and we know sugar is bad as it creates a lot of health problems, so we look for alternatives. But are these alternatives any better or even worse? These man-made artificial sweeteners should not be considered as food. They have no nutritional content, 0 calorie, no effect on blood sugar, unnatural and toxic to the body as it can trigger all sorts of metabolic diseases when taken regularly. These are aspartame, acesulfame K, sucralose, and saccharin. Aspartame breaks down into formaldehyde, an embalming fluid, a neurotoxin that can accumulate in the body, leading to many neurologic conditions like seizures, migraines, depression, dizziness, Alzheimer's disease, and multiple sclerosis. In a research article published on March 2022 by PLOS Medicine in French, adults who regularly consume artificial sweeteners, especially aspartame and acesulfame K, were associated with increased overall cancer risk compared to non-consumers. If you're lucky not to get cancer, here's another reason why you should stop consuming artificial sweeteners. UK researchers have found that artificial sweeteners can potentially turn healthy bacteria into pathogens that damage your gut wall, causing sepsis, infection, and multi-organ failure. So before you put those groceries in your cart, make sure to read the label and watch out for these sugar substitutes. 1. Sugar. Sugar is the sneakiest of them all. That's why it made it to the top list. It's present in almost 99% of ultra-processed foods, and we have no idea how much sugar is hidden in some foods we eat, even in those we thought are healthy. It's a sucrose that has 2 sugar molecules, glucose and fructose. That's why it's also called a disaccharide. It occurs naturally in plants like sugar cane and sugar beet, but it can also be in the form of maple syrup, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, honey, molasses, and more. Sugar is not a carcinogen, but the fructose in sugar can lead to metabolic diseases like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver disease, and cancer when consumed excessively. This is also the reason why so many children are now obese, have diabetes, and fatty liver disease, which were only found in adult population few years ago. If you're a parent who binge on spoonfuls of that hazelnut spread, don't let your children get their hands on them so they'll not end up with diseases like adults have. After knowing the top 10 cancer-causing foods we need to avoid in our diet, we don't stop there, because food industry combined these toxins to create ultra-processed foods that are even worse. So here are the 7 worst foods you need to stop eating right away. 1. Margarine. This toxic food made from hydrogenated vegetable oil is a form of trans fat that can cause heart disease, type 2 diabetes, allergies, inflammation, and cancer. 2. Donuts. This tasty sugary treat is made from refined flour, sugar, and deep-fried using vegetable oil. This deadly combination makes it the worst food you can eat, as it can double your risk of developing cancer big time. 3. Diet soda. You might think that diet soda is better than the regular one to cut down your sugar. It can still do some damage to your body, as it contains artificial sweeteners like aspartame and acesulfame K, with the addition of caramel color that drives AGE. Since aspartame breaks down to methanol and formaldehyde, both toxic compounds deplete your glutathione, which is a major antioxidant in your liver, red blood cells, and your brain. This could lead to hyperglycemia, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, liver necrosis, and liver cancer. You would think that artificial sweeteners wouldn't do that, but it's acting just as bad as sugar, and on top of that it can disrupt your microbiome in your gut, leading to additional diseases. So if you still want to consume diet sodas, you would go for something like stevia-sweetened sodas. They won't harm your liver and has no harmful side effects. 4. Barbecue. You already know that grilling meat can lead to the development of cancer due to the two carcinogenic compounds, namely heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. In addition, if you marinate the meat in barbecue sauce with sugar and cook it over high heat, it can also form advanced glycation end products or AGEs, giving rise to a number of degenerative diseases. 5. Microwaved popcorn. There is no better snack to enjoy while watching a movie than popcorn, but be sure to avoid the microwavable ones as it can cause cancer when consumed regularly. The bags are lined with perfluoroalkyls, perfluorooctanoic acid, and perfluorooctane sulfonate. These chemicals prevent the oils from seeping through the package when it's heating up. Unfortunately, these chemicals end up in the popcorn when you heat it. Based on studies, exposure to PFOA increases the risk of certain tumors of the liver, testicles, breast, kidney, prostate, ovary, and bladder. 6. French fries and potato chips. Made from GMO potatoes and fried using hydrogenated vegetable oils at a very high temperature, releasing a chemical compound acrylamide, which is a known carcinogen in animal study. Although it's a probable human carcinogen based on rodent studies, it doesn't mean it cannot affect us in any way, since consuming these foods on a regular basis can lead to obesity that will increase your risk of getting cancer. 7. Instant noodles. Most instant noodles available today are made of refined flour, high in sodium, and most have added MSG to enhance flavor. Since it's easy to prepare, cheap and tasty, many people prefer this food for a quick meal. But is it really safe? A single serving of instant noodles can have anywhere between 397 to 3,678 milligrams of sodium per 100 gram serving, or even higher. High sodium diet can increase your risk of getting stomach cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, and kidney failure. It was also identified that the substance found in instant ramen called TBHQ, a petroleum byproduct used to preserve cheap processed food, can cause metabolic syndrome on top of the high sodium and MSG content. They also found a cancer-causing substance known as ethylene oxide, a known human carcinogen that is linked to the development of lymphoma, leukemia, and breast cancer. Unfortunately, most of us consume ultra-processed foods. According to studies, a 10% increase consumption of these foods can increase your overall cancer risk by 12% and an increase in breast cancer risk by 11%. Plus, eating a lot of ultra-processed foods significantly increases the risk of colorectal cancer and can lead to heart disease and early death in both men and women, according to British Medical Journal. Eating whole foods is a good way to get plenty of nutrients, antioxidants, and fiber in your diet, which can improve your overall health. Studies shows that the benefits of a whole food diet or minimally processed food include lower risk of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. When buying vegetables, pick the organic ones since they're not treated with chemical fertilizers, herbicides, and pesticides. In meat and dairy products, choose the ones that are grass-fed and pasture-raised, so you're guaranteed to get the health benefits in consuming these livestock. It is also healthier to cook your meals and eat home-cooked meals over the ready-to-eat ones. It's guaranteed safe and will save you money in the long run. And lastly, when you're going to look for minimally processed foods, always make it a habit to read the labels. Stay away from the ones with added sugars, preservatives, artificial colorings, and flavorings. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Prevention is not only the cheapest course, but the most effective of all strategies to ward off cancer. If you learned something from our video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more health tips like this. Leave us a comment below. Thanks for watching.